The core value, I think, of health services in all our countries is the core value of compassion. It's why we create national health service systems, it's why people go to work in healthcare. So the core model of leadership that I think we need in these health service organizations is compassionate leadership, and what that means is four things. First of all, leaders paying attention to those they lead. I love the phrase, listening with fascination, that leaders must pay attention to those they lead, to understand their difficulties, the challenges, the frustrations, and the successes and the delights. And second, it's leaders really understanding the challenges that those they lead face. And ideally that understanding is achieved through dialogue, so it's a shared and therefore more helpful understanding. And the third is that leaders should be empathizing with staff, feeling their frustrations, their difficulties, their stresses, their pains, but in a way that they're able to tolerate, not over-identify with the emotions of staff. And the fourth is then taking thoughtful, intelligent action to help those they need. After all, that's what great leadership is helping those we lead to achieve what they want to achieve. So those four components of compassionate leadership, I think, are fundamental to the leadership of healthcare organizations. Well, I think what's really important is to ensure consistency of leadership across the whole organization. So we very often focus on the top leadership of organizations in healthcare, and certainly they're important in creating the context overall. And we focus often on frontline leaders, but what we have to recognize is that middle management plays the key role in ensuring that the messages from top leadership are transmitted right throughout the organization, that they are cascaded down. So we need leaders in every part of the organization to be authentic, to be open, transparent, to be curious, interested in how they can lead better by asking their employees and those they lead, to be kind and to be appreciative, because gratitude, recognition, appreciation has huge effects within organizations. The emotional ripples from expressions of gratitude affect the whole organization. But above all, for middle management and all leaders to be compassionate in the way that they interact with staff in healthcare organizations. When the concept of engagement was originally developed by Kahneman in the 1990s, he talked about understanding it in this way. Imagine an actor going to perform on the stage on a Saturday night. Engagement is the extent to which she brings of her life experience to the performance of the role, her emotional intelligence, her courage, her humanity, and her compassion. So when we talk about engagement of employees, we're talking about creating the circumstances in which employees bring their courage, their creativity, their emotional intelligence, their compassion to the performance of the role. It's the very opposite of stress and burnout. And when we have a workforce which is characterized by engagement, what we see is huge benefits in healthcare in terms of organizational performance. Better quality care, better financial performance, lower absenteeism in hospitals, lower patient mortality. And what we do is we create the conditions for staff to flourish and grow through their work, rather than languishing or being impoverished by the experience of work. So creating cultures of high quality engagement means that we have organizations that fulfill their purpose, but in a way that enriches their staff, not impoverishes them in the process. When we recognize and appreciate the contributions that people are making publicly, that has a pervasive effect in organizations. It creates a sense of optimism and cohesion and efficacy and courage and aspiration amongst all the staff within the organization. And it spreads to other organisations as well, through reputation, through publicity and so on. So it has an effect of really creating a virtuous cycle of aspiration and innovation and optimism, which affects not just the people who are involved in the project that is successful, that is shortlisted, but it affects everybody within the organisation. And therefore what it does is to affect the quality of patient care. It affects the ability of organisations to deliver high quality, continually improving and compassionate care. So the optimistic hospital process and programme has huge benefits for patients, for employees, for hospitals, and I'm sure for the employees of all the organisations who are affected by the awards.